We have less than 2 more months to go until Persona 3 Reload launches, and the new information keeps on rolling out. We've got the official ESRB rating for Persona 3 Reload to go over, in addition to another rating that sheds light on a new feature that is sure to make many Persona 3 fans happy, along with an updated look at key battle components spanning all battle characters in Persona 3 Reload, and more. With less than 2 months to go, make sure you've snagged your spot in my ongoing giveaway of the Persona 3 Reload Digital Premium Edition if you want the complete Reload experience with extra BGM, costume sets, and more. Also check out my Final Fantasy VII Rebirth giveaway if you're interested in another massive JRPG hitting the iconic Final Fantasy franchise early next year. Let's first take a look at the ESRB's rating for Persona 3 Reload, as these ratings do shed some light on certain features and what to expect from the game. Just know that the ESRB pertains to the United States and Canadian markets, and although they obviously don't encompass every country or region, the ESRB's listing does outline many of the game's features and qualities that other software organizations around the world will also document. Also, don't worry about any spoilers here, as the following descriptions are simply about what you are likely to come across while playing the game. Alright, here we go. This is a role-playing game in which players assume the roles of high school students investigating a mysterious tower that only appears at midnight. During the day, players interact with classmates, teachers, and town characters, gaining social links to improve relationships and abilities. At night, players explore the tower and engage in battles against human and fantastical enemies. Example, shadows, demons, spirits, in turn-based combat. Players select weapon and magic attacks from summoned Persona creatures to kill enemies. Battles are accompanied by impact sounds, gunfire, and cries of pain. Cutscenes also contain instances of violence and/or blood. A creature's arm cut off and crushed, with blood splatter effects, characters shot, also with blood splatter effects, pools of blood on the ground, characters shooting themselves in the head to summon personas. The game contains some sexual material, female demons with partially exposed breasts and buttocks, a creature with a phallic-shaped head and torso, Mara confirmed. Some demons, example succubus, incubus, have sexual characteristics that are described in the text, example, they visit sleeping men or women and have sexual intercourse with them. The words f and sh appear in the game. For those who haven't played the various releases of Persona 3 before, this definitely sounds like a solid encapsulation of the content that we will come across in Persona 3 Reload. But I think taking a look at other regions' ratings could give us a better idea of potential new features added to the game, like this one from the Infocom Media Development Authority of Singapore. We've previously touched up on this board's description in a previous video, but I wanted to highlight one key difference of this listing when compared to the ESRB rating. The Singaporean rating is very much in line with everything that is stated in the ESRB listing, but there is one particular sentence here that may be shedding light at a potential change to a system that was somewhat controversial in the original Persona 3 releases, with that being the inability to remain platonic with the female social link characters. Persona 3 Reload just might be allowing players to enter into platonic relationships with these female characters, while still being able to max out the social link, as this excerpt from the Singaporean listing may suggest. When the player sufficiently builds up the male protagonist's bonds with certain female characters, it can culminate in optional depictions of characters hugging and kissing, and textual descriptions implying sexual intimacy. The key word here is, of course, optional, so this could imply that players can choose to go down a more platonic route with these characters rather than having a relationship with every one of them. There are several female characters that can be romanced in Persona 3, so for those who don't want to go on rampant cheating sprees and be given options to remain friends, just like in Persona 4 and Persona 5, this may be our first time at experiencing this in Persona 3 with Persona 3 Reload. Now, with all that said, what do you think of the ESRB listing and the potential ability to have platonic, maxed out social link relationships in Persona 3 Reload? Voice your thoughts in the comments. Next up, we've got a better look at Theor Attacks, and more importantly, the criteria to fill up the Theor bar to pull off these devastating moves. Starting off with Makoto, the protagonist, with him wielding the wildcard ability, the protagonist is able to perform a variety of Theor attacks depending on the personas he is currently wielding. Using a persona skill will increase the Theor gauge, so using personas with the main character is a good idea in order to top off your gauge. Next is Yukari Takeba, with her Theurgy attack being Cyclone Arrow. This attack does severe wind damage to one enemy, ignoring that enemy's resistances. Her Theurgy gauge will charge by using healing items. Junpei Iori's Theurgy attack is called Hack and Blast and deals severe slash damage to one foe, ignoring resistances. Brief tangent here, but it's important to note that Persona 3 Reload will maintain its three main weapon damage types, being Strike, Pierce, and Slash from the original Persona 3 releases. These damage types add an additional element to Persona 3, as each of these types are either effective or not so effective against certain enemies, unlike Personas 4 and 5 where all weapon damage behaves the same, other than Persona 5 Royal's gun damage. Getting back on track, Junpei's Hack and Blast attack deals 5 weak hits with high damage variance followed by a stronger 6th hit, before landing with the strongest 7th hit. Players can boost Junpei's Theurgy gauge by landing critical hits. Mitsuru Kirijo's Theurgy attack deals severe ice damage to one enemy, ignoring resistances, and can also afflict freeze. I am unsure what the name of her Theurgy attack is, so feel free to inform us in the comments, but players can boost her Theurgy gauge by debuffing or afflicting statuses on enemies. Next up, we have Akihiko Sanada with his Lightning Spike Theurgy attack, dealing heavy electric damage to all foes, ignoring resistances. This attack can also afflict shock. Players can charge Akihiko's Theurgy gauge by using a support skill on himself and himself only. Buffing other party members as Akihiko will not boost his Theurgy gauge. Fuka Yamagishi, the support Cease member, has her Oracle skill here and is able to conjure up random positive effects on all allies, such as a party-wide Heat Riser, for example. This Theurgy can also restore HP and SP, and unlike the original Persona 3 releases, her Oracle Theurgy can no longer reduce your party's HP and SP values to 1 in Reload. Aigis has her Orgia mode Theurgy attack, which deals heavy pierce damage to all enemies, ignoring resistances, but at the detriment of ignoring orders from the player for a few turns. Charging her Theurgy gauge requires the player to use her strength-based skills. Everyone's favorite pup, Koromaru's Theurgy attack deals severe dark damage to one enemy, ignoring resistances. Again, I'm not sure what the name of his Theurgy attack is, nor do I know how to increase his gauge in battle, so inform us all in the comments if you happen to know. Ken Amada's Theurgy attack, of which the name I do not know, deals severe light damage to one enemy, ignoring resistances. Players can charge Ken's Theurgy gauge when his SP is less than half of its max value. And finally, we have Shinjiro Aragaki, whose Theurgy attack deals severe strike damage to one foe, ignoring resistances. No word on the attack's name, nor how we charge it in battle, but there you have it. It's awesome to see how these attacks highlight their individual strengths and that the requirements to charge their Theurgy gauges are actions that reflect a core aspect of their abilities. I'd love to hear your thoughts about these Theurgy attacks and their implementation in Persona 3 Reload in the comments below, because I think they are great at providing more tools to work with when overcoming some of the more challenging opponents in the Dark Hour and beyond. In my next Persona 3 video, we are going to discuss new information pertaining to the Iwatodai dorm and the new Link episodes that dramatically expand upon each of the characters from the Persona 3 releases. So stay tuned for that, and also make sure to participate in my giveaway of Persona 3 Reload, linked in the video description. Go ahead and watch this video for a detailed list of everything we know that has changed and reworked from Persona 3 Reload. And thank you all for your continued support and contributions to the channel. And I will see you all real soon in the next one.